Good evening, my dear Alabama. Once again, I want to just thank you for tuning in. My name is Yolanda Flowers, and I'm running for governor for the state of Alabama. I have entered into this Democratic primary runoff election, yes, and I would so appreciate your vote on June the 21st. This evening, we will be addressing questions that were sent in by voters regarding Alabama's criminal justice system and gun safety in Alabama. Gun safety has been a hot topic all across the nation, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, okay? If you would like to learn more, I'm going to put this little caveat in. If you would like to learn more about me and my platform, I ask that you will visit my web page is yolandaforgovernor.org. That's FOR. Okay. You can also follow me on all social media platforms. And if you're able, we ask that you will please donate. And we are also begging, we are for volunteers to help us move this campaign across the state. So, thank you once again for tuning in. And we're going to start with our first question, okay? Our first question.
Good evening. Our first question is from Kristen from Morgan County. Asks, after the recent shootings in Buffalo, Uvalde, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Chattanooga, many have called for more gun safety laws. What will you do to prevent gun violence in Alabama?
Well, I thank you so very kindly for that question. As it's been pointed out that our nation is just really struggling. And what we trying to just ensure that everyone is safe. So, what I would like to point out here in Alabama, I'm not naive to the supermajority Republicans, okay, the Republicans that we have here in Alabama. So I'm going to try to increase the age. That's what I propose, to increase the age from 18 to 21, which Alabama agrees 65% needs to change, okay? So we're going to do this through Congress, and as a last resort, put forth the executive order. That's my proposal for that. Next question. Do you have any? Okay.
Yes. The next question is from Jackson from Limestone County. Asks, do you support arming teachers to protect schools from gun violence?
Well, I look at it this way. It is documented that in Texas, we had those armed officers, that they didn't feel comfortable going into the school or going into active shooting. And because of that, more people died. 19 students, 2 teachers. So more people died. And, the sad thing about it, they are skilled. They are skilled and they are trained. So if we have schools with all the teachers armed, the next thing you will hear is that a kid will get a hold of a gun, because children are always rambling, whether you believe it or not. I know my great grandbabies are always finding things, but they're always looking and they finding things. And so here you will have to deal with another killing or injuring a student or a faculty. So I don't support teachers simply because of that. We have to make our children safe in their one safe environment. We got to make sure that they are protected and cared for and that they can study without being fearful.
Thank you. Our next question is from August from Dallas County and asks, what are your views on the parole board tactics?
Well, I've been talking about that. One thing I'm looking to propose is that the parole board would be more diverse. From my understanding, the parole board here in Alabama consists of only ex servicemen, or those who ex police officers, should I say? I'm going to put it like that. So a more diverse board would be beneficial. I'm thinking more in terms of someone like a neighborhood officer. Okay, here in Birmingham, we have neighborhood officers, neighborhood associations where we have president, vice president, secretary, but someone who understands the community. Next, I'm looking at also on that board, we can use a councilman, someone from city council, or a lawyer, or, check this out, or an individual who has had an incarcerated loved one. We need more diverse. We just don't need ex police officers. And 9 times out of 10, if you want to be truthful, it could very possibly be the same officers that have incarcerated many that are in prison. So we just want to make it more diverse. The next, I think correction officers, their numbers will increase. We can reduce the record of deaths for numerous reasons. Truck trafficking by the officers. Okay, we do have some of that. We do have crooked cops. And we wonder, well, how are drugs getting into the facility? Well, yeah, they're used as conduits. It was brought to my attention that officers, you may find an officer that need to make extra money. They can buy some drugs off the street, okay, for a couple of $100s, and then they could bring it in and just sell it. He said, well, where would the inmates get money? Well, where there's a will, there's a way. But we have to stop this caravan of transporting drugs into already a hostile environment. So we have to ensure that the well-being of our incarcerated loved ones are kept. Also, you have cell phones in prisons, okay? Unequal length of time on racial lines for same crimes. It's just, so all these things we have to put in place. I mentioned before about my Justice League. Okay, the Justice League team will consist of a judge, lawyers, law students, those who will do the research, okay, that will hold our parole board accountable, okay? So it's a lot of things, and it's doable. And I keep saying it is doable. We just have to find a way that is best suited for our state and ensure that everything is done decent and order and justifiable, okay, with equity. Thank you. It doesn't make sense. I want to put this little caveat also in there. It doesn't make sense that here in Alabama, that our population, a population of blacks here, African Americans in this state is 28%. Okay. It doesn't make sense here out of that 28% that locally 43% are jailed. Okay. Now when we think about imprisonment, that's 54% that are in our system. And that is uncalled for. So why? So half of the African American population is locked up. Okay. It's locked up. So that's some disparity there. Not some, it's a lot of disparity. So that Justice League team will see to it that everyone, they will do fine-tooth combing. They will comb through and ensure that the parole board are releasing people at a justified time. Don't go when they are up for parole and they want to tack on another 5 or 10 years. That's not right. That's not right. So get into the bottom of things. I think that Justice League, I strongly believe the Justice League would do just that.
Wonderful. Our next question is from Piper from Lee County. asks, how do you plan to reduce the racial disparities in our prisons?
Well, we have that all across our nation. And we do know that in our prison systems that there are what you call just gangs. That's a loaded question, but it still goes contingent upon how our officers perform. Okay. I know we're going to need more officers, security officers that are well trained. And what I mean by well trained, I've been pushing a psychological evaluation not only just for schools and for our students and teachers, but for our police officers, or those especially in the prison population. We need to know that these individuals, male or female, that they are well trained, they have the heart to do what is right. Okay, that psychological evaluation will determine, and we may even have to tack on that. What is that thing just to see if you are truthful or not? It's what you call it, if you are telling the truth. Lie detector. There you go. I knew it's gonna come. The lie detector to see what type of individual you are. If you promise to uphold the code of ethics that the police officers have to take, if you're sincere or not. But we're looking at the heart of the matter. Are you going to be a crooked cop or an honest cop? If you're going to, while you're there, those men and women will need people that could counsel them even, Say some words of encouragement. Don't use the prison as a means of getting money, as a monopoly, okay? As if it was Wall Street. We don't need to use them as if they are slaves either. So that'll be one thing to ensure the safety and make sure that there's no disparities in the system by treating everybody fairly, not beating up on the inmates, okay, not inciting riots, but be adults and caring adults, those who will ensure that that the people there are cared for and protected. Thank you. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Our next question is from Kaylee from Talladega County. And she asks, what are your initial thoughts about cannabis in Alabama?
Kaylee. That's been a question for a lot of young people, okay? Well, as I've stated on just about every reform that has come up. Cannabis is an herb, okay? We call it marijuana. Some folk call it Mary Jane. But marijuana is an herb, okay? I'm an herbalist. I grow herbs. I grow herbs for my teas, okay? And I see nothing wrong with that. That's my stance. But the only thing I am not for is taking it and lacing it with chemicals. That can mess your system up. I feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well go ahead and just, take meth. Meth, the Ajax and all of that stuff that they use to create that, which is definitely deadly. But cannabis is an herb, and it's natural. It will not harm you, okay? Calm you, heal you. It's an herb. It's something that God has given, and He's given it for our consumption, okay? Now, how you do it, that's left up solely to you. But cannabis is a natural herb, so yeah, I guess you can tell I'm for it. I'm for it.
Excellent. And now let's hear from Mark from Jefferson County. And he asks, what will you do about the drugs that enter our prisons?
Well, I talked about that in regards to, thank you, Mark, for that. I did address that in regards to our security officers, our police officers, or that are there to guard and protect. We have to have someone that are responsible. And it goes back to what I said about the psychological evaluation. We have to do the background check for these individuals as well as they would do for anything else. Going to, if you're going to be a school teacher, if you're going to be on a police force, if you're going to go work at a bank, they do background checks, even at a retail store. So everyone is doing a background check. And that's one of the things, as governor, that I would insist that will take place. We need that. We need to know that you, the officer, are accountable. Okay, they're responsible individuals. We don't need to hire someone that is a user themselves. Okay, and it's all about the money. We need honest people. So that will be one way, two ways. The background check, the psychological evaluation is another thing I mentioned about the lie detector test. Okay, so I gotta calm you through because you have to be responsible for the well-being of the people incarcerated. So we don't want, if you are truthful, drugs will not come past you. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, thank you for that. And now let's hear from Tyler from Shelby County. And he asks, will you increase the number of corrections officers as governor?
Well, as I mentioned before, Tyler, you said it's Tyler?
Yes,
Tyler. Okay, Tyler, thank you. We That's a shortage. That's a shortage here in Alabama of officers, period. Um, and I guess it's kind of good if our sheriffs are doing some fine combing through. Um, but yes, we have to ensure that we hire more. But we want people with good reputations, those who are reputable, okay, those who uphold their oath as a police officers, and not only that, they uphold it so well that they will ensure that their co-worker are accountable as well. Okay, their fellow officers are accountable. So we have to ensure that. So that's one thing we will do, and I believe once we get a standard, and that's what it is put forth this standard. There are some people out here in this state, in this country, that uphold standards very dearly. That they uphold the standard of being honest and having a good reputation and doing things by the book. And that's what we are looking for. And as governor, that's one of the things that I will propose that we will do, hold job fairs strictly for police officers, security guards, those ones in that field that will that will follow the guidelines. Okay, the Justice League will help in that as well. Okay, they will screen the individuals to ensure that they are properly suited to protect the well-beings of the inmates, as well as preventing recidivism if need be. Yeah, talking to the those incarcerated, and doing what they should do, because that's what they're sworn to do: protect and bring peace. Thank you so much, Tyler, for that question. Thank you very much.
Yes, excellent. Thank you all, and thank you, Candidate Flowers, for your answers and the questions I thought was very excellent. And now we'll have our closing statement from our candidate, Mrs. Flowers.
Alabama, I just thank you so much for tuning in again. I just want to give you just this little word. We live in a world, okay, of this or that, okay, and because of that, it's limiting. It limits us. Don't you know that we can have gun laws that allow folks to keep their guns and keep Alabamians safe? We do. We really do. So I'm asking you just to call me, not a this or that, but call me an and candidate, okay? We don't need one or the other. We need a conjunction. We need us to bring it together. So I'm Yolanda Flowers, and I just thank you once again. Remember, I am running for governor for the state of Alabama, and I'm asking that you all on June the 21st to vote for me, okay? So let's reconstruct Alabama together. It's going to take us all to make this change possible. Follow me on all social media platforms. Again, visit me on yolandaforgovernor.org. And again, vote. We need your vote. We need your vote. Thank you so very much, Alabama. I love you. God bless you. I pray that God will keep you all each and every day. I really do. I really do pray for you. So thank you so much again. Have a wonderful evening. God bless.